Welcome back to Wronglish Podcast. I'm Donato Esposito and I'm here with Ron Atkinson. And having covered the Premiership and the season, what a season that was, we're now going to talk about the Champions League final, which is coming up this Saturday. Barcelona, Man United. Could you write a better script?
No.
Probably the two best teams in Europe.
No.
Justifiable final.
I think if you'd have said to the organising committee, what would be your dream final at Wembley,
This would be it.
they would go.
Yeah. So forget the whole season. Let's just bring
Yeah.
Barcelona, Man
They
United.
would go for it because both teams have won European Cups, and the irony of it all is, or the coincidence of it all is, their first triumph of both clubs was at Wembley.
Yeah.
So that gives the, if you like, the
Extra
historical
spice.
point of the spice. Who's going to win it? Barcelona will start slight favourites, and understandably so,
Yeah.
because they are a great team to watch it. But I just wonder what United's approach will be after the match 2 years ago in Rome, when they never really turned up. They got beaten 2-0, but they got well beaten. Now, for me, I think Alex will look at that. He'll watch videos of that, because strangely enough, the Barcelona team hasn't changed that much.
No.
All right, David Villa's come into it.
But it's more or less the same squad.
It's
isn't it?
more or less the same team. So, and they play the same way. So he'll look at that and think, right, what can we learn from that? Now, what he's going to learn is how to deploy his midfield. I think that was going to be the area. They got completely overrun in the last match. Carrick almost had his career finished at Manchester United after that game. I think it's a safe bet he's going to play Park. I think he loves his energy and he's zipping about in those sort of games. He'll play him. I guess Giggs will play, or as he's now known as Premiership. I guess he'll play.
I mean, who were
The
the
other
players? I
mid-
mean, we talk about Messi. I
Well,
mean, the way he played in the semi-final was unbelievable against Madrid.
Yeah, you just wonder.
Is he going to be able to pull out the same form in the final?
Two things with Messi. You either go and sit, and I don't think I'm not too sure United have got anybody in the camp that can do that, and go man for man with him and say just detail
Mark him
somebody
out of the game.
to stay with him all match, and if you like, almost play 10v10.
Yeah.
But that takes a lot, because if they asked Evra to do that takes a lot away from United, because Evra is, he's a very
He's a game winner,
inspirational raider.
yeah.
He joins in the attacks and so forth. So that's why I don't think they'll detail anybody to watch him. But what I do think he'll do, and that's where it's going to be interesting, whether he thinks Fletcher's done enough since his illness to warrant a place, because I got a feeling somewhere along the way Fletcher's going to be important to him. Will he play? Will he leave both his wingers out, Valencia and Nani?
Yeah.
One thing for certain he will do, which he didn't do out there, he will not play Rooney on the left wing,
Right.
which he did out in.
He'll put him right in the middle.
He'll say to him, there's a football pitch. When we lose possession, drop back into an attacking midfield area, if you like, and even latch onto something like Busquets or something like that. But I think the important one, he may even go the other way and play Rooney up on his own to start with. I hope he doesn't. I hope he leaves Hernandez in there, because Hernandez has great movement. And the one thing Barcelona have always done, because of the way they play, they leave big holes in their defence, and they know it's a tactical plan. They like to press high up the field, and they're prepared to leave gaps.
And
Now,
Hernandez can go.
Hernandez
into those
is.
gaps, can't
I'm not sure Berbatov can,
he? Yeah.
because he hasn't got the movement. He's got the touch, but not the movement. But Hernandez has got that great movement, and I could see him being very important to them. So I think a big thing is going to be how Rooney and Hernandez take the game.
Yeah.
If they can get in the game an awful lot, they could do damage. What United have got to be careful of. Everybody talks about Barcelona's great one-touch passing, little triangles, Iniesta, Xavi, Busquets, anybody else that wants to join in, fullbacks, Alves, and if it's Maxwell or whoever plays on the left-hand side, just bombing forward. But one thing I always think teams get, and Arsenal were guilty of this, they try to play the same football in their own half, and that's made to measure for Barcelona.
Mm.
If you play short passing in your own half of the pitch, Barcelona will press quickly,
Yeah.
and they'll go in packs. I think they've got to be prepared to stick a few balls over the top of Barcelona's midfield.
Mhm.
For argument's sake, if Ferdinand's got it, don't always look in short to somebody in midfield. Drop it over the top and get their midfield players, A,
Get them
running back towards their own goal, and B, when they do get possession, make sure they're 80 yards from your goal,
Yeah.
as opposed to pinching possession back
Yeah.
on your box and
And then
being in
chase
a
it on
position
back.
to, you know.
In terms of the final prediction, what do you think? I know it's a tough one to call. You've got
If you give me £1,000, I'll put it on Barcelona.
Barcelona.
Yeah.
Any scores in particular?
I think both teams will score.
By one goal? Win by one
Yeah,
goal?
well, it depends when the goal. You can never call it like that quite in a game of this magnitude, because if Barcelona score early or go 2 up early, then there's a chance that Man United will open up and chase the game,
Yeah.
which means
Yeah,
they
it
could
could be
get
3
picked
or
off.
4,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So
Okay.
I think an odd goal, and if any result wouldn't surprise me. I wouldn't be surprised to see go to extra time, in penalties, but the result I see mainly is Barcelona winning
Right.
in normal time.
Okay. Well, thanks so much for Ron. I've been Donato Esposito interviewing Ron Atkinson for Ronglish on the Champions League. Thank you and good night.